ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there.
Good morning, St. Peter and Paul students and faculty. Today is Wednesday, March 21st, 2012.
Today we are welcoming to the DNN studio Wheat Ridge Police Chief Dan Brennan.
Thank you for taking the time to visit St. Peter and Paul School today.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Tell us a little bit about your career and how you became police chief of Wheat Ridge.
You know, when I was in high school, I became attracted to the criminal justice field and decided to go to college. And I went to Metropolitan State College in downtown Denver and got my degree in criminal justice. And then I began the process of looking at police departments, and I initially got hired by the Lakewood Police Department, and which is a community just to the south of Wheat Ridge. And I worked there for 27 years. I worked a variety of operational assignments and administrative assignments. I worked in patrol, and I was a detective. I was on the SWAT team. I was a firearms instructor. Just was real blessed in the opportunities that I got in policing. And I also rose through the ranks, so I had the opportunity to be a patrol officer, a detective, a supervisor, and then ultimately a commander. And then in 2004, I got the opportunity to get loaned to the state of Colorado to the Division of Criminal Justice. And I worked on a statewide training initiative with communities and police departments around the areas of community policing, mediation, facilitation, leadership development. And then in 2005, I was again blessed, and I was hired by the City of Wheat Ridge to become their 4th police chief, and I've been the police chief here since 2005.
What type of education is needed to become a police officer?
You know, it depends on the particular police department, so I'll give you some examples. In some police departments, all you need to do to become a police officer is to be 21, because that's a state requirement, that's state law. And you have to have a college or a high school degree or GED or an equivalent of a high school diploma. Some departments, like Wheat Ridge, require 2 years of college, so you have to have an associate's degree or an equivalent number of quarter hours or semester hours. And there are a number of departments in Colorado and throughout the nation now that require a college degree in any field, but they require a college degree.
What do you enjoy most about your job?
What I enjoy most about my job is every day's different. There are different challenges that arise, and throughout my career, those challenges have looked different. When I was a patrol officer, you never knew what your next call was going to be, or what your next contact was going to be, and if you were going to be dealing with somebody, who's the victim of a crime, or somebody who may have been a suspect in a crime, or somebody whose life at that particular point in time was out of control. And so you always had to be prepared for different opportunities and different challenges. As a detective, when I was a detective, it was about investigating cases and proving or disproving a particular case and trying to bring somebody to justice, a person who had committed a crime, and also trying to help the victims of those crimes. And then later on, as a supervisor and then as a manager, it was about the totality of those kinds of cases and leading men and women towards a common vision, which is what being a police chief is about. It's not, I'm not out there arresting people generally and doing those kinds of things, but it's really about setting a vision for my organization, much like your school has a vision in regards to what they want to accomplish, and moving the organization towards that, so we provide good service to our to our community members. We have a vision statement at our police department, at the Wheat Ridge Police Department, and that statement is exceptional people providing exceptional service. And what that means is we're always striving to hire the very best people, whether it's for police officers or other positions we have in the department, and we're always trying to provide that exceptional level of service. And that looks different on different calls, but we're always trying to provide the very best service.
How many officers are on the Wheat Ridge Police Force, and what are their duties?
Right now we have 76 police officers on the police department. 72 of those are authorized positions in our budget, and then we have some additional grant positions that we have. And then I have 31 civilian positions. So the police positions are those sworn members of the police department. They've obtained a peace officer standards and training certification from the state of Colorado. They're sworn members. Their purpose is to uphold the laws and the state of Colorado and the community of Wheat Ridge. And then our civilian positions are our dispatchers, our community service officers who do animal control and code enforcement and parks enforcement work. We have a secretarial administrative staff that supports the police chief, but also our investigators and other people in the organization. We have a communications center, so it's a 911 center, so any emergency calls for service or non-emergency calls for service that come into the police department come in through our communications center. We have a records team section that is responsible for all the records. When police officers are out doing their work on a day-to-day basis, they're taking reports, they're documenting what they're doing out there, and so we have to have a repository or a place to store those records, sort through those, keep statistics, and release those records to citizens and victims and prosecutors and insurance companies and those kinds of things.
What's the most challenging part about your job?
The most challenging part of my job is probably getting the community to understand that they have a role in making their community a safe place to live. There's a saying that in policing that really goes back to when police departments were first formed in 1829 in London, England. And the founder of the first police department came up with 9 principles of law enforcement, of policing. And they're just as true today as they were in 1829. And one of those sayings were that, the police are the community and the community is the police. And what he meant by that was, I represent the part of the public that's paid to protect, to serve and protect, to enforce the law. But there's also an obligation by the community to be good citizens and also to be part of the policing of their community, whether that's seeing something that's suspicious and calling it in, being a good witness, or trying to do those proactive things in their community so that we can keep our community a safe place to live for our seniors, for the people that work and visit our community, and certainly for the children in our community.
Tell us a little bit about the Citizen Police Academy.
The Citizen Police Academy, we started in 2005 when I became the police chief, and it's an opportunity for citizens or folks who work in the community of Wheat Ridge to attend an 11-a-week police academy. Now, it's not every day during the week like a police officer goes to a police academy, but one day a week for 3 hours, citizens come together that are part of this, and they get exposed and to every aspect of the Wheat Ridge Police Department. So I meet with them that first week and talk about our organization. And then throughout the next 11 weeks, members of our investigation staff, our community services staff, our patrol staff, our traffic team, our dispatch center, our records team, all come in and we teach them and we talk to them about what it is we do as a police organization. So the neat thing about it is they get to do forensic crime scene work, so they get to do fingerprinting, much like you see on TV shows like CSI, but there's a reality to to crime scene processing that we talk to them too, is trying to educate them and say what you see on TV is not necessarily how the real world works in policing or crime scene processing. But our effort and our attempt is to educate them about their police department, and in the end to try to get them to do something for us, like volunteering or being advocates for progressive, proactive law enforcement and law enforcement education in the community.
What are other ways the Wheat Ridge Police Department is involved in the community?
Well, we practice as part of our mission statement principles of community policing. And community policing essentially is that collaborative, positive collaborative relationship between the police department and the law-abiding citizens in our community to address issues of crime, quality of life issues, arresting offenders, and dealing with traffic-related issues. So the manner in which we do that is we try to be as transparent as we can in regards to what we do. So the Citizens Police Academy is certainly one way that we try to be transparent to the community and allow them to come into the police department to see what it is that we do and why we do that. We also have, over the course of the 7 years that I've been the police chief, is we've used an approach called problem-oriented policing to locate areas in the city that have a higher call for service load or a higher crime rate than other areas of the city. And then based on the data and statistics that we gather, we will devote resources, patrol officers, detectives, or community service officers to address issues of crime in that particular area. So an example of that is a project that we call our East Wheat Ridge Community Policing Project. And that's essentially an area on the east side of the city from about Pierce Street east to Sheridan and the boundaries of the city on the north side and the south side. And we've met with all of the community neighborhoods that we have in that area. We did 10 meetings with neighborhoods, and then we did one with business owners. And we asked them what their problems were and what they saw as issues in their community. And then we took that and the crime data we had, and we formulated some strategies to use education to address getting neighborhoods cleaned up and talking about the importance of that, and crime prevention information as well. And then we've increased our enforcement efforts and our presence in that particular area. And as a result of that, we've been able to demonstrate a decrease in crime, some of the traffic issues that we had there, and some nuisance code-related issues that we've had there.
Well, thank you for coming. It was nice to get to know a little more about the Wheat Ridge Police Department.
Well, Patrick, it was nice to meet you. It was nice to meet you.
Always remember,
keep a smile on your face, your mind on your studies, and a prayer in your heart.
You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Oh,